Hillary Clinton works only for her donors, special interests, and lobbyists. You have lobbyists that have stamped on their forehead, I can produce Hillary. So, and they're very good. And they raise millions of dollars. Did you see yesterday it was announced that Hillary Clinton got $48 million or so from hedge funds, and Donald Trump got $18,000 from hedge funds, or 19. I'm trying to figure out who they were. I want to give it back.
Donald Trump earlier today at a rally in Maine. Many of Trump's supporters in recent days have been encouraging him to just stay on message and only talk about Hillary Clinton and Obama. Here now with reaction, former 2016 GOP presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson. You know, I love how the media blows this out of proportion. And here's a woman that devotes an entire night at her convention to Black Lives Matter, a group that is on tape saying we want dead cops now and white people get to the back and F the police. I've got all the tapes of that. And here's a woman that was called out by the FBI director lying 5 separate times on her email scandal. But the big issue with the media is that Donald Trump said that Mr. Khan's son is a hero and his refugee program would never have impacted this family. What do you make of this double standard? You've lived it.
It's truly amazing, and I hope that the American people can see that most of the mainstream media is completely in the tank for Hillary, and they are not helpful at all. Remember, press was given a special place in our Constitution because they were supposed to be honorable people. And they were supposed to be somebody that the populace could depend upon to bring objective information so that they could make good decisions. They have completely distorted the original intent by what they're doing. And the funny thing is, they don't even realize that if we put somebody like Hillary in, and we get more radical Supreme Court justices and federal judges, they too will be affected. They just don't know it yet. They haven't thought that far ahead.
You know, I think a lot of people haven't. I mean, doesn't this really come down to comparing and contrasting? Here's Trump's justices here. Here's Hillary's. Compare. Here's Hillary's plan to raise taxes on the middle class. Here's Trump's tax cuts. He's going to allow multinational corporations to repatriate the trillions offshore so we can build jobs. Hillary's going to put coal miners out of work, coal mine companies out of work. Trump is all of the above. We could have millions of new jobs, high-paying jobs, and become energy independent. We'll build the border wall, or we won't build the border wall. We'll get rid of Obamacare. We won't get rid of Obamacare. We'll send education back to the states. We won't send education back to the states. To me, it's a quintessential choice election.
You have just articulated the reason that they are so determined to make this about individuals, to make this about Donald Trump. As long as they can keep him in the forefront, they don't have to talk about all the things that you just enumerated.
Knowing the media is that biased, knowing that they're out to get him, knowing that the narrative Hillary wants to advance, even though she's got a vicious temper, how do I know? George Stephanopoulos told us, as did Dee Dee Myers. Knowing all that, is it in Donald Trump's best interest to just stick to Hillary, to stick to Obama, let his surrogates fight these other fights for him, and just stay on message and say, this is what I'm going to do. This is your chance to fix America?
Absolutely. And I wish he would carry around a little thing in his pocket that he could always bring out when they try to push him into the mud and say, no mud. We're going to talk about the issues. Because, you know, it really boils down to one candidate who is of the people and one who is the epitome of the established ruling class. You couldn't have a more clear-cut distinction in this.
Yeah, you know, Hillary can't run on Libya. She can't run on her vote in Iraq and then politicizing it and creating a vacuum for ISIS in Iraq, and she can't run on what she did in Syria, and she can't run on what she did with Mohammed Morsi in Egypt. She can't run on not saying radical Islamic terrorism, and she can't run on Obama's economy, where we have a 51-year low in home ownership rates, where we have, you know, literally the worst recovery since the 1940s, the worst labor participation rate since the 70s. What does she run on?
I hope he will explain that. I hope he will explain the labor force participation rate, get one of those Ross Perot type charts and show people and educate them on this so they will know exactly what's going on. And also talk about Hillary and her opposition to the Second Amendment, which she tries to act like she is for. But she and so many others, they sit there and they talk about deer hunting and that, you know, the Constitution doesn't say anything about deer hunting. The Constitution talks about people being able to protect themselves.
Look, I've been a marksman since I'm 11 or 12 years old. I've been a pistol marksman. I never shot Bambi, and I've got a gun collection that's an envy of a lot of people. Trust me. All right, Dr. Carson, we love you. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate your time.